Have you ever wondered what would happen if the strongest anime characters fought Ryomen Sukuna? Would they be able to defeat him? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. But before we start, to make this battle even more exciting, we are taking Sukuna's original body, his Heian era form, while still retaining the skill set he had during the final battle. This is important because, while inhabiting Megumi's body, Sukuna was vulnerable to attacks that targeted the boundary between souls, such as Yuji Itadori's soul-striking punches. However, in his true body, Sukuna has almost zero vulnerability to such attacks. Secondly, we will assume that every character from another verse can see curses and cursed spirits just to keep things fair. So, to start things off, we have Luffy from One Piece. Here, Luffy starts in his Gear 5 form right from the start. At first glance, this battle seems dangerous for Luffy, since his rubber body has historically been vulnerable to slashing attacks, which is exactly Sukuna's specialty. Sukuna would immediately open with Malevolent Shrine, raining down cleave and dismantle, but none of that matters if the attacks can't touch their opponent. You see, Luffy, who scales to light speed reaction feats, is drastically faster than the hypersonic speeds commonly shown in the Jujutsu Kaisen verse. On top of that, Future Sight allows Luffy to predict Sukuna's slashes before they even happen. And even if needed, Luffy has armament haki to block or tank those attacks. The only real threat Sukuna poses to Luffy is the world-cutting slash. This technique targets the space or world itself rather than the individual, meaning it can theoretically bypass Luffy's rubber body and haki. And to be fair, if it lands, it can kill Luffy. But the real question is, can it hit him? Well, I don't think so. Luffy's Future Sight would immediately sense the attack, and his overwhelming speed would allow him to dodge it with ease. And once Luffy goes on the offensive, even one landed Bajrang gun, an attack that destroys the opponent from the inside out, would instantly flatten Sukuna. Sukuna has no direct physical defense capable of stopping an attack of that magnitude. Even with reverse curse technique, taking a direct hit from an island-sized fist infused with armament haki would result in instant defeat, meaning Luffy wins this one. Now, before we move ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep going. Next up, Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Okay, so as always, to keep things fair, we will be taking Tanjiro in his Demon King form, but honestly, I doubt it changes the outcome of this battle. While Demon King Tanjiro represents the absolute pinnacle of power in his universe, boasting regeneration superior to Muzan and complete immunity to sunlight, he is still utterly outmatched against the King of Curses. All it takes is one world-cutting slash, and it's completely over for Tanjiro. So yeah, Tanjiro loses this one. Next up is Kaiju number 8. Now, in his evolved state, Kafka's power is practically immeasurable, likely surpassing Fortitude level 10. His durability is also insane, as seen when he tanked direct hits from a Meireki-era Dai Kaiju, and honestly, this battle is debatable. You see, even if Sukuna uses Malevolent Shrine and tries to adjust its output using Cleave, it still wouldn't have much effect on Kafka. That's because Cleave's automatic adjustment is ultimately limited by Sukuna's own maximum cursed energy output. And in terms of raw power, Kaiju number 8's evolved form clearly surpasses Sukuna. We've already seen a similar situation with Gojo, where Sukuna's cleave hit its ceiling due to Gojo's extreme durability, resulting in deep gashes instead of an instant bisection. The only real way Sukuna can win this fight is by landing a world-cutting slash. If he manages to hit Kaiju number 8's core, then Kafka is done for. And if you ask me, I slightly lean towards Sukuna here, mainly because of his battle IQ. I mean, this guy has over 1,000 years of combat experience. But hey, let me know who you think will win this battle in the comments down below. For now, I'll give this one to Sukuna. Next up is Naruto Uzumaki. Let's take him at his absolute peak, Baryon mode. Now, no matter what Sukuna throws at him, he simply can't do anything to Naruto. We're talking about a planet-level threat here. On top of that, Naruto's faster-than-light speed is something even Sukuna wouldn't be able to perceive, meaning he wouldn't even get the chance to use his world-cutting slash. Additionally, Baryon mode's lifespan-draining ability upon physical contact is extremely lethal, but honestly, it's probably not even necessary in this fight. You see, a single strike from Naruto carries power capable of damaging beings with planetary-level durability. Sukuna, whose best durability feat is tanking a city-level Hollow Purple, is not surviving what Naruto is about to unleash. So So for this one, Naruto wins with ease. Now we have Shinra Shoman from Fire Force. Alright, there's really no need to drag this one out. We're literally talking about a god-level character here. Someone who created the entire Earth from scratch and possesses high-level reality warping. Shinra would straight up turn Sukuna into a donut and probably eat it right after, meaning Shinra wins this one. Now we have Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. Okay, so there are two ways to look at this. First, if we take the normal version of Eren as a Titan, Sukuna would obliterate him with ease. Second, even if we take Eren in his founding Titan form, along with all the colossal Titans, it still wouldn't make much of a difference. Sukuna only needs to defeat Eren himself, and truth be told, Eren in his founding Titan form is a very easy target for Sukuna. So yeah, there's no chance Eren is winning this one. Next up is Okarun from Dandadan. Well, the only real advantage Okarun has here is his speed, and even if Okarun manages to land a few attacks, Sukuna can simply heal them using reverse curse technique. But once Sukuna unleashes his domain expansion, it's game over for Okarun. The domain sure hit effect targets the opponent instantly and inescapably, no matter how fast they try to run, meaning Okarun loses this one. Now we have Natsu from Fairy Tail. Okay, so this is honestly the worst possible matchup for Sukuna. Why? Because Sukuna's most destructive area of effect attack, the fire arrow Fuga, is completely useless here. Natsu literally eats fire to replenish his magic and increase his power. So if Sukuna tries to burn him, Natsu would simply absorb those flames and use them to boost his own energy. On top of that, in his END form, Natsu's flames have been shown to burn through intangible concepts, including time itself. That means even if Sukuna unleashes his domain expansion, Natsu could simply burn it down. As for the world-cutting slash, I don't see it landing either. Natsu's ability to burn through concepts should allow him to counter or avoid it as well. So no matter what Sukuna throws at him, Natsu takes the win. Next up, Sung Jin-woo from Solo Leveling. Alright, here I'll be nerfing Jin-woo a bit by not allowing him to use his shadow soldiers. You know, just to make things look fair for Sukuna. But if you think this gives Sukuna even the slightest advantage, then my friend, you're completely mistaken. You see, even without his shadow army, Sung Jin-woo is a cosmic level entity whose stats completely eclipse the entire Jujutsu Kaisen verse. This fight ends before Sukuna can even register Jin-woo's presence. Now for those wondering, what if Sukuna uses his domain expansion? Trust me, it wouldn't matter. Sukuna's standard cleave and dismantle would fail against Jin-woo's mana reinforced durability, which has already withstood the breath of destruction, an attack that erases existence itself. And as for Sukuna's world-cutting slash, yeah, that's not going to work either. Jin-woo is a dimensional being, capable of jumping between and even destroying entire dimensions. At this point, he's practically the concept of death itself, meaning Jin-woo wins this one with ease. Now we have Deku from My Hero Academia. Izuku Midoriya holds a massive advantage when it comes to speed and raw power, and truth be told, a 100% Detroit Smash would obliterate Sukuna, no doubt. But the problem is that Deku is a close combat fighter and lacks stamina for a prolonged battle. Even if Deku lands several hits and seriously damages Sukuna, we all know how good Sukuna is at adapting to his opponents. Sukuna would simply maintain his distance, forcing Deku to expand more energy, while Sukuna focuses on defense. And the moment Deku gets too close and Sukuna sees the right opportunity, he can instantly unleash his domain expansion, where everything is subjected to a sure-hit rain of slashes. Even with danger sense, Deku can't dodge thousands of slashes at once. And remember one thing, Sukuna can heal himself, but Deku cannot. So for this matchup, I'm giving it to Sukuna. Next up, we have Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. Now, this wouldn't even count as a duel. End of series Ichigo scales to universal levels of power, having defeated Yhwach, a being capable of merging 3 separate dimensions. Before Sukuna can even process Ichigo's presence, the fight is already over. Sukuna's Malevolent Shrine and World-Cutting Slash are dangerous, but they still rely on the user's ability to perceive and target the opponent. On the other hand, Ichigo's Reiatsu alone is enough to crush Sukuna's body and soul. And even if Sukuna somehow survives that pressure, Ichigo's Getsuga Tensho carries enough power to decapitate Sukuna in a single strike. So yeah, Ichigo wins this one. Next we have adult Gon from Hunter x Hunter. In this form, Gon possesses power comparable to the Ant King Meruem, boasting speed that allowed him to completely vanish from Neferpito's sight, and physical strength capable of crushing a royal guard. However, Gon's fighting style relies heavily on tanking attacks with his massive aura, which is a fatal mistake against Sukuna. Sukuna's primary technique, Cleave, is a hard counter to Gon's durability, as it can adjust its output to slice through the target regardless of their hardness or aura density. While Gon might land a devastating Janjanken that could heavily damage Sukuna, Sukuna still possesses advanced reverse curse technique, allowing him to heal almost instantly. But the deciding factor here is Sukuna's malevolent shrine. Once Sukuna expands his domain, Gon is immediately subjected to thousands of sure hit slashes, meaning Gon loses this one. Next, we have Anos Voligoad. Alright, there's no need to drag this one out either. Anos Voligoad operates on a scale where logic and concepts themselves have no meaning. While Sukuna may be the king of curses, Anos is the demon king of tyranny, a being who can destroy universes with his bare fists. Sukuna might try to open a malevolent shrine, but Anos' magic eyes of destruction would automatically disintegrate the cursed energy, the domain barrier, and the slashing attacks before they even materialize. And that's not even mentioning Venos Donoa, Anos' sword that destroys the very laws of physics and magic. So yeah, Anos wins this one with ease. Next up, we have Frieren. Alright, so this battle is a clash between two ancient beings, each with over a millennium of experience. So the real question is, who takes this one? When it comes to Frieren, she is a master mage, capable of analyzing and dispelling curses, and her defensive magic is extremely formidable. However, her primary defense, those hexagonal barriers, is fundamentally useless against Sukuna. Sukuna's world-cutting slash doesn't target the barrier itself, it targets the space the barrier occupies. No matter how much mana Frieren pours into her shields, she simply cannot defend against an attack that severs space itself. On top of that, Frieren doesn't possess self-regeneration on the level Sukuna does, and Sukuna's domain expansion could easily overwhelm her defenses. The only real way Frieren wins this fight is if she somehow manages to drag the battle out long enough to fully analyze Sukuna's techniques and devise a spell to counter them. But honestly, I doubt Sukuna would allow the fight to last that long. So if you ask me, I'm going with Sukuna here. But let us know in the comments who you think wins this matchup. Now we have Asta from Black Clover. For this matchup, the first thing we need to figure out is whether Asta's anti-magic can negate cursed energy or not. And honestly, it can. Asta's anti-magic erases all magic or energy-based attacks, and cursed energy is still, at its core, a form of energy. That means anti-magic can negate it. So, the form we're considering for Asta is his true devil union with Zeton, and trust me, this is overkill. In this form, Asta can erase all magic or energy in his surroundings, creating an anti-magic zone. This would directly disrupt the flow of energy required to form Sukuna's malevolent shrine, effectively neutralizing or completely erasing the domain. And even if Sukuna attempts a sneak attack, Asta's mastery of Ki allows him to sense hostile intent before the attack even happens. Asta would immediately counter with Zeton, a technique that multiplies his physical output exponentially, delivering a slash with continental level force. That strike wouldn't just obliterate Sukuna's body, it would also negate the cursed energy flow required for reverse curse technique, making regeneration impossible. So for this matchup, I'm giving it to Asta. Next up, Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. As soon as the battle starts, Dio would most likely stop time immediately and unleash a barrage of attacks. However, the difference in attack potency and durability here is absolutely staggering. While the world's output is roughly building level, Sukuna has tanked city level attacks like Unlimited Void and Hollow Purple. The physical damage Dio can inflict during time stop simply isn't enough to put Sukuna down, and the moment time resumes, Sukuna can instantly heal using reverse curse technique. And once Sukuna activates Malevolent Shrine, it becomes a hard counter to Dio. Even if Dio stops time inside the domain, he still can't escape the 200-meter radius within those few seconds due to his limited movement. movement speed. The moment time begins to flow again, the sure hit effect of Cleave would relentlessly shred Dio's body into nothingness, completely bypassing his vampire regeneration, meaning Dio loses this one. Next, we have Rimuru Tempest. I'll get straight to the point here. Rimuru operates on a conceptual level that completely transcends the entire Jujutsu Kaisen cosmology. While Sukuna's strongest attack is the world-cutting slash, Rimuru possesses space-time domination, multi-dimensional barriers, reality manipulation, and essentially the ultimate power of Cosmos, making the world-cutting slash child's play in front of him. Rimuru could simply erase Sukuna's existence in the blink of an eye. No need to drag this out any further. Rimuru wins this one with ease. Next up, Makima from Chainsaw Man. Okay, for this battle, hear me out for a sec. Sukuna clearly possesses higher destructive power and a domain that can shred matter to dust. He would likely kill Makima instantly at the start of the fight, possibly multiple times using Cleave or Dismantle. However, Makima's contract with the Prime Minister is the ultimate wall. Every time she dies, the damage is transferred to a random Japanese citizen in the form of an illness or accident. Sukuna would need to kill her around 126 million times for it to actually stick, a feat that would drain his cursed energy long before he succeeds. Even Sukuna's world-cutting slash, which can slice through space itself, does not sever the causal link of Makima's contract. On the other hand, Makima has win conditions that Sukuna simply cannot counter. She can summon the Hell Devil to banish Sukuna to Hell instantly, a dimension from which he has no way to return. Additionally, her invisible force attack, Bang, bypasses conventional durability entirely. Unlike opponents whose regeneration Sukuna can eventually overwhelm, Makima's revival is a reality-altering event. In the long run, Sukuna would succumb to exhaustion or battlefield removal. So with all that said, surprisingly, Makima wins this one. Next up, we have Goku from Dragon Ball. Okay, do I even need to explain this one? Goku operates on a multiversal scale, having shaken the infinite world of Void just by powering up. Sukuna's only real win condition, the world-cutting slash, is rendered completely useless against Ultra Instinct. This form separates consciousness from the body, allowing Goku to dodge danger instinctively, regardless of speed, direction, or even visibility. And even if Sukuna were to activate Malevolent Shrine, Goku could simply destroy the domain just by powering up. Need I go any further? Goku wins this one with ease. Lastly, we have Saitama from One Punch Man. Alright, I'll just say one thing about this guy. One sneeze from him is enough to obliterate Sukuna, and you already know exactly why I'm saying that. So yeah, no need to go any further. Saitama wins this one with a sneeze. Click on this video next, where we've created the strongest tournament of power in all of anime's history. Go on, check it out.